What sounds like fiction but is actually a real historical event. In 2007, a paraglider got trapped in the updraft of two joining thunderstorms and lifted to an altitude of 10 kilometers. She landed 3.5 hours later about 60 kilometers north of her starting position, having survived extreme cold, lightning, and lack of oxygen. Imagine how fudging scary that would be. She doesn't remember much of it since she became unconscious quite quickly. IIRC, she regained consciousness when she was back down at 3500 m. Imagine how fudging scary that would be. For real, imagine waking up 2 miles up in the air. In the 1800s there were street vendors in Egypt who sold ancient Egyptian mummies. Just lined them up on a street corner and sold them like they were umbrellas on a rainy day. English tourists would buy them to display as oddities. If only they were displayed. Not clicking that link. No pictures, it's nothing to be afraid of. Oh, alrighty then you /kindergarten cunt, smiley face, TLDR ate the corpses for medicine. The longest piano piece of any kind is Vexations by Erik Satie. It consists of a 180-note composition which, on the composer's orders, must be repeated 840 times so that the whole performance is 18 hours 40 minutes. Its first reported public performance in September 1963, in the Pocket Theater, New York City, required a relay team of 10 pianists. The New York Times critic fell asleep at 4 a.m. and the audience dwindled to 6 masochists. At the conclusion, one sadomasochist shouted, "Encore!" The Glasgow Ice Cream Wars, 6 people died in a turf war over ice cream van routes. They were dealing heroin out of the vans. I love my city so much. Laughing face. A Finnish soldier, who managed to escape capture after losing his squad in a methed-up hallucination. Being the doctor of the group, he was carrying the meth pills for the whole squad, and in order to survive and escape his pursuers he took the whole pill box, 30 pills, when the allowed dosage for a grown man was 1. He survived in the Soviet wilderness for 2 weeks eating only pine buds and one time a Siberian jay that he caught and ate raw. When he was rescued he was 45 kilograms and had a resting heart rate of 200 BPM. Edit. Historical accuracy. Please read u/__Akula____s reply. The rise and fall of Alexander the Great. Never lost a battle in his life, conquered the whole known world, and only stopped because his soldiers were tired. And then died of the flu when he was like 32. Honestly, his life should be a vaccine commercial. No matter how great you are, vaccines will save your life. The story of the Great Boston Molasses Flood sounds like it would be right at home and seen in a bad Adam Sandler flick. I've said it once, you'll say it again, it should be the Boston Molassaker. Here. You've earned you imaginary internet point. A Chinese emperor once ran in circles around a pillar to escape an assassin. He survived. I've used similar tactics with my father. 10 tenths would run around in circles again. Edit. No, he didn't have jumper cables. Sorry to hear that your dad tried to assassinate you. But glad to hear the circles thing worked. Try ADAD spam next time. A town in France nearly danced itself to death in 1518 because of a dancing plague. During the First World War, navies from different countries hired artists to paint crazy patterns on their ships in order to throw off the aim of enemy U-boats. Source: The OL Razzle Dazzle. There were a few Japanese soldiers who refused to surrender after World War II and remained on duty in the rainforest for 30 years after the war ended. Serial killer Carl Panzram broke into the home of former President William H. Taft and stole jewelry, bonds, and a gun. With the money he got from the first two, he bought a yacht in which he used the gun to kill a bunch of sailors. Guess I'm listening to last podcast on the left this morning. Hail yourself. During World War II, the Polish army conscripted a bear. Wikipedia. Patton in World War II in charge of a decoy blow-up army division. Alright man, decoy deployment time. Blow up the tanks. Kaboom. No you idiots, I meant inflate them. Fuck. The Second Punic War has all the makings of a great story. It has a blood oath, an underdog story, bravery, an op main character, tragedy, and a final showdown between the two main characters. The fact that it all, or most of it, happened blows my mind. There could be a godlike series about the three wars. Trying to move some elephants over a couple of mountain ranges. Teach them to ski, it'll be quicker then. Only in the descent, though picture that, the mother of all charges. Elephants on skis should be the new Sharknado. During WWI, the Germans sent Lenin back to Russia in a sealed train, calling him the most dangerous weapon that they had. Sent. Helped him return is a better description, he wanted to return. The assassination of Rasputin reads like a cartoon. The assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand too, guess back then assassinations just had a slapstick look and feel. Ted Bundy escaped from custody twice, the first by jumping out of a 3-story building, second time by taking a guard's outfit and walking out the front door. That's some Agent 47 shiz right there. In 1967, Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt simply vanished without a trace and no one knew what happened for 40 years. No one knew what happened for 40 years. I think nothing was discovered after 40 years, they just made most probable reason of disappearance, Holt overestimate his swimming ability and drown, official. He vanished diving at Cheviot Beach in Victoria. That beach is very hazardous and swimming there is prohibited. At the time of Holt's disappearance it was within a restricted, military, zone but Holt apparently had a special pass allowing him access. A tornado helped the US in the War of 1812 during the Battle of D.C. A freak patch of dense fog saved the colonies during the Revolutionary War. Similarly, hurricane saves Japan from being invaded by the Mongols twice. Hence kamikaze, divine wind. The fire in Dublin, Ireland on June 18, 1875. A fire broke out and spread to a malt house and the heat broke open every alcohol barrel and flooded the streets with it. The people of Dublin decides to drink the burning alcohol that is spreading in the streets, filled with litter and debris and was literally on fire. 13 people died not from the fire or smoke but from alcohol poisoning they got from drinking the street whiskey. There was one person who survived the sinking of not only the Titanic, but also the Titanic's two sister ships, the Britannic and the Olympic. Okay, not a big fan of editing comments, but I'm going to because this got bigger than expected. Said person is Violet Jessop, and the Titanic and Britannic were indeed sunk, and the Olympic collided with a British warship but did not sink. Violet Jessop. I think she was a nurse. Nurses will continue to work beyond death so long as there are patients to see. Source, am nurse. Retirement plan is to take a 15-minute break to die before doing another round. During WWI, Christmas 1914, the British and German forces on the Western Front unofficially made a ceasefire without the authorization of their superiors in order to celebrate, trade goods, and play football. Also during WWI, the Russian and German armies in Poland stopped fighting each other in order to fight off an enormous pack of wolves that had been attacking both armies. Both of these sound like something you'd come across in a novel and irreparably break your suspension of disbelief. Why has no one made a movie about the second one though? That needs to be a movie.